Welcome back to Chokitable Media. On April 5th, a series of nationwide hands-off demonstrations took place, expressing strong opposition to President Trump and his billionaire advisor, Elon Musk. This report shows that human beings can never be satisfied, and they are the architect of Thier troubles by electing leaders who in turns punish them. While pretending to be a reformer, the hands-off movement protest have highlighted a range of pressing issues related to the Trump administration, including significant budget cuts, layoffs within federal agencies, and widespread deportations. More than 150 organizations, encompassing civil rights groups, labor unions, LGBTQ+ advocates, veterans and election activists, came together to organize protests at over 1,200 locations across all 50 states. As reported by the Associated Press, protesters assembled in cities across the United States, marking the largest unified demonstration against President Trump since he took office in January. The hands-off protest organizers aimed to host rallies in 1,200 locations nationwide, with thousands of participants gathering in major cities such as Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, and Washington, D.C. on that Saturday. Demonstrators voiced their dissatisfaction with Trump's policies, which cover a wide array of social and economic concerns. These protests followed Trump's announcement of new import tariffs, impacting most countries worldwide, with similar gatherings also taking place internationally in cities like London, Paris, and Berlin. Stay tuned for more updates, and remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Be sure to check out CBS Chicago's coverage of the story.
Today, thousands gathered and marched in downtown Chicago, one of many hands-off protests targeting President Trump and his administration. This one you see on the screen was at Daley Plaza. It was the biggest protest in Chicago since President Trump took office. Our Marissa Sulik tells us the message they wanted heard.
That one at the plaza right outside our window at Dearborn and Washington closed streets all over downtown. It was one of 1,200 demonstrations across the country, but there were even more around the world.
Hey, hey. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey.
Thousands took to the Loop Saturday afternoon to speak out against the Trump administration.
I am concerned about our economy tanking. I'm concerned about the fact that we have a president who doesn't care about people.
Hands off! Hands off!
And it's this flood of people who are protesting against Trump's key initiatives, such as large-scale cuts to federal agencies and the new slew of tariffs that have tanked global stock markets. In Chicago suburbs, other hands-off protests lined streets and public spaces. Evanston, Highland Park, Palatine, Schaumburg, Weill, Oak Park, and Arlington Heights had their own demonstrations.
It's hands off so many different things. Our veterans, our programs, everything, women's rights.
From coast to coast, other states and city streets saw crowds of people. In D.C., elected officials pointing out Trump's tariff push.
Their tariffs are not only imbecilic, they're illegal, they're unconstitutional, and we're going to turn this around.
Tariffs against Trump.
Tariffs, a huge topic of protests overseas, in Paris, in Europe.
He's ruining the global relations with our best friends.
Europeans and Americans living there showed their frustration with Trump's push to overhaul government and expand presidential authorities.
He's kind of the avatar of this hideous energy that has erupted like a boil on the face of humanity, and we have to pop this boil.
Saturday morning, Trump made this post on Truth Social, telling Americans to hang tough with the new tariffs, which he calls an economic revolution.
Trump is spending the weekend in Mar-a-Lago. New tariffs on goods imported to the U.S. went into effect today. Customs agents are now collecting those at ports of entry. In the newsroom, Marissa Sulik, CBS News, Chicago.
Marissa, thanks. The anti-Trump protests were mostly peaceful, but in Lafayette, Indiana, police say a man driving a truck tried to make a turn at an intersection where protesters had gathered. Here's what we know. Demonstrators blocked him. Investigators say the man then confronted the protesters, and one of those demonstrators allegedly headbutted him. The man got back into his truck, then returned holding what looked like a rifle. Police arrested the man, but later released him, saying he acted in self-defense and he never pointed his gun at another person. Authorities are now looking for the protester who headbutted that man.
Thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing so you won't miss out any of our latest video.